Greetings, I'm Kartosael, and welcome to another episode of KartoCraft. Right, so in the meanwhile, the past week I snowed all these things, so there's now a tiny layer of too deep snow at the bottom of everything, except down there because there's still water, and I completely destroyed the chicken coop because it didn't work. And today the first thing we're going to do is work on this chicken coop again, but doing it according to a more traditional design, if you could call it like that. And after that I hope to go and do some building on the next project, which is a small experience farm. So, first off, chicken coop. I've got some eggs and lots of other materials. Probably not enough though. What I'm going to do is make a funnel in which chickens will float around in water, and as soon as they lay eggs, they will all float to the center and drop down and we can collect them. So first off is making a funnel, and I'm going for wood this time. My last design I went for cobble and I wasn't really happy about that, so I'm not doing that again. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to keep that design. There. So the funnel is going to be here. It's going to be 5 by 5. Why it has that dimension I will explain once I actually set it up. Or is it too small now? Yes, it is too small. Bummer. It has to be 5 by 5. And right now it's 3 by 3 plus a border. So that's too small. Let me think about this. Let's do that, and let you walk here. I can bring this all down one, knocking these torches off. There we go. No. There we go. And I'll build it like this. And that's probably not going to work, is it? No, it is not. Well. Right. I did not expect that. I'll be right back. So, it took me about 3 minutes to fail twice. Not my best moment. Of course, the problem was this is 1.5 block of space, which is not enough to go through. So I'm going to make it lower sooner. Hopefully that will work. And if it doesn't, then I'm really derpy today. It doesn't. Well, there's also another option. There we go. And my X is nearly through. Does it work now? Yeah. Good. Now that's resolved. Let's continue. So this is the border now. And this is the... Wow. This scroll wheel, I believe it hates me. There we go. This is going to be the actual funnel. Alrighty. And the next thing is... Nope, that's wrong. This. Actually not sure if that will work. But I'll be able to test it as soon as it's finished. So I need to access this area. So I'll just dig in here. It's the easiest thing to do. Go. I'm just cutting this out to be so it's too high, and that's more so I can easily walk around. It could just be one high, to be honest. Chickens only need one high. But you never know if those evil creatures, so we're doing it like this. Yep. Alright, so now I can show you why it needs to be 5 by 5. Because there are going to be chickens over here. No. There's going to be a hole over here. This is where the produce will flow into. And I need to do that just for now. So we place water over here. This is going to... yeah, that will work. For now. So we place water over there. And over there. And as you can see, it will flow this way. If it was 3 by 3, that would mean we had water like this and it would create an infinite source. And if you had 4 of those, you would have a 3 by 3 infinite source, which is not what we want. Because if you do it like this, 5 by 5, with water in every corner, no matter where you stand, you will always be pushed to the center. Mobs, every kind, so it's better to have it too high, will try and swim upwards in water. So if you make a hole here, mobs will never fall through that. They just won't. However, items, they actually will. Because they don't bob in water, they just plummet it down. And let's do that. So I'm hoping to be able to kill chickens through here. And of course we need a way of getting our eggs in there. Ah, I think I see a spot. And guess what? I need to get on the inside again. This is not really my day, I'm afraid. Sadly enough. Oh, that was my axe. Nope, not my day at all. So I'm placing this one over here. This is going to be the dispenser which will shoot the eggs in here. It will probably hurt some chickens, but to be honest I can't really give that much about that. And let's put a button on there, like so. You could use a wooden button if you like, but this pulse, so how long it stays pressed, is longer for a wooden button, so you won't be able to shoot eggs as fast. So let's place these in here. And next step, see, is of course hoping we will get some chickens, so I can show this to you. I'll just shoot out all these eggs and be back with you. Alright, so I shot off all the eggs, and as you can see, none of them are sinking down, they're all bobbing upwards. Because that space over there, let's not do that with a sword in hand, that over there, it's an indentation, so they would be able to get in there, but they're not. And as soon as they grow up and they will poop out eggs, they go down and they flow with the water into that hole. Now it's of course slammed up, so anything that goes in there stays in there. The more traditional designs, you would remove the slab and instead put a sign here. That would stop the water, but not the items. That sounded really weird. However, I'm going to do it slightly different. as you might imagine. I still want to use a hopper just because I can actually, and now I won't be able to break this slab, so let's do that first. And the water goes down and there we go. Oh no, oh dear, I have a lot of snow to replace. That was not one of my brightest ideas, obviously. Anyway, putting that aside. Now any item that flows in there, flows with water into the hopper. The hopper will put it into the chest. That's all there is to it, really. You might wonder, why didn't you do this from the start? Well, as you can see, it takes up a lot more space and wasn't as neat. It's harder to kill them. Slightly harder. So I hoped that would work, but no, it won't. Because the problem was they keep glitching through the walls, and in this setup they're not in any walls, they're in the water. So they won't glitch up, which is good. So the next project is a experience farm. I'll clean the looks of this on a later date. So let's get off, shall we? With the chicken farm functional, we are now going to start working on a experience farm. I had hoped to use the blaze spawners in the nether for that, but I do not have the right materials to do so. Luckily, my mine thingy, branch mine, dissected a ravine. Not only that, but if you look upwards, you see a nice abandoned mine shaft. I pronounced that really weird. Anyway, I'd prefer using skeleton spawners because they give me arrows, but unfortunately we only have this one, a zombie spawner. However, considering it's the only spawner I have found, I'm going to use this as an experience farm. Now I reckon some of you, if not most of you, know how to turn this into a farm. But for those who don't, I'm going to explain it. So, first things first. Here we go. The spawners can spawn mobs in an 8 by 8 by 3 area, centered on the spawner. That's what the wiki says. Now what does that mean? It means that in height is relatively easy. The legs can spawn here, here, and here. That means that will be the ceiling. Because if they want to spawn here, they need 2 spaces, because yeah, they're 2 blocks high. So that will be the ceiling. And there we go. Now the 8 by 8 thing often poses a problem, because how can you center an 8 by 8 on a single block? You can't, right? Because 8 has no center. 7 has a center. If you have 7 blocks, you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, which of course this is 6, like so. That will be the center. But if you have 8, you don't have that. So what is the center, to be precise? From what point does for one way for the other way go? If you stand on the spawner, or below it, whatever have you fancy, you can see your coordinates and comma as well. The center is at the lowest point, and by that I mean exactly 460 and exactly 606. So the center is this way and this way. So this little corner is the center, meaning that it can go 4 blocks in that direction, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that direction, 4 in this direction, but this is block number 1. So it can only go 3 in that direction and 3 in that direction. And there you have the dimensions of this spawner. Of course these blocks are not placed properly. properly. Yeah, like so. Oh, not like so. This scroll wheel really hates me. And the floor will be over here. Why? Because, well, you might say they can only spawn here, right? That's true. But if I was a zombie and I would spawn here, I would be like this. And I would just sit here walking against this spawner. If it was one deeper, I would fall through, which is actually what I want them to do. Now I have a specific style of making these things. So I'm going to carve out just the area, the 8 by 8, and I'll be back to you then. Alrighty, I carved out the room. It's a nice 8 by 8, centered around this point. So now we have a place where the zombies can spawn. Of course, with spawners there are two things you need to keep in mind. First off, they will only spawn if you are within 16 blocks of them, radial. So that means 16 blocks like so, not 16 blocks that way, then 16 blocks that way. No. You could, lose a lot of calculations to determine how far you can actually stand at it, but it's safe to say that if you're 16 blocks directly below it, it will function just fine. Or above. Or to the left, or the right. But you can't go 16 by 16 like so. They will also only spawn their specific mob type, in this case zombies, if there are no more than 6 of that specific type in the area. And in the area is actually a 17 by 17 by 9. So if you stand here, taking this block as a center, 8 blocks that way, 8 blocks that way, and that way, 4 blocks that, and 4 blocks that way. So it's important to ship off the zombies, because if you do not, there will never be more than 6, which isn't all that very practical. Of course, this light has to go where they won't spawn. One thing though, which is an advantage of spawners, is they do not need to spawn on normal areas. So they could spawn on this glass, they can spawn in water, they can spawn in air, wherever they want to, as long as there is, as long as there's no light, or at least the standard light value. In this case it's 8, I believe. Yeah. So as soon as I remove the storages, zombies will spawn in the air. Now, shipping off zombies or skeletons, works the same way. Isn't all that hard. And I'll show you how I do it. It's just making a crevasse too deep, so once they're in they can't get out, and doing it like so. One more. Let's put some more glass down, because I like the look of glass. Can't help it. Gives a nice transparency to it. Like so. Making another crevasse. Doesn't necessarily need to be too deep. Actually, this one probably doesn't either, but it's safer this way. And by safer I mean more efficient. So this is 8 blocks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we all know water flows 8 blocks. So it will flow in there, create a new source and flow onwards. That's what we want. So it's going to be wall over here. Like so. Of course it's going to be wall, but then I can't get out. So I'll wait with that just a moment. Put a wall down here. And like such. So when zombies come, they come in here, they're transported over here, and they're transported over here. I'm going to make sure this is 8 blocks as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more. And now we have an absence of light, there we go. Keeping this open still. Actually I could make this glass as well, why not? I made all this glass specially for this project, might as well use it. I will just cobble this. There we go. So like this I can still inspect it. And they can still mold me. But who cares? Actually this only needs to be too high, right? Yeah. Like so. Yes. Yes. This is too high. Well, that was a waste of glass. No, this will be fine. Will it be fine? If they're bobbing up and down in here, then they might get stuck on that. Bummer. Ah well, might as well make it 3 high. It's going to take me a bit more effort, but it will work fine. I hope. Alright, so this is 8. We'll put the chopper over here, and you'll be like, alright, what now? Well, first off, I'm going to create an infinite water spring. Right here. That did not work out. So, let's get all this water. And might need that. Don't need that. 2, 5. What is he doing? Don't worry too much. So, the point with an experience farm, per definition, is that was too big. Is that you want to deal the killing blow, because that's what's giving you experience. And with the new armor and stuff that mobs can wear, they also only drop if you deliver the last punch. So in order to make sure we actually only have to deliver the last punch, we are going to make them fall quite a way. Mobs have 20 hearts. After 3 blocks of falling, so I can easily demonstrate that with myself, if there wasn't a wall ceiling everywhere. So if you fall 1 block, that's fine. If you fall 2 blocks, that's fine. If you fall 3 blocks, that's fine. If you fall 4 blocks, that's gonna hurt. So the 4th block will take a half a heart away. And mobs, as well as the player, have 20 half hearts, so 10 full hearts. That means that a drop of 24 or 23, oh bummer, either one of those will be fatal. But we don't want them to just drop and die, we want them to have half a heart left. So we're going to make this long enough for them to fall down but not die. So there's water, sign, water, sign, water, and well, what mobs always do when in water, they continuously hold spacebar. You could say it like that. That means that if you do it like this, they will always float upwards without drowning. Like I'm doing now. Let's put some light in here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Hello gravel. Let's get some water back. So I'm going to make this is just repeating sequence. And I'm going to make it high enough for them not to fall to their death, but fall a considerable amount. So I'll be right back. Alright, I have made this chute all the way up to Y57. And I want them to drop all the way down to 31. Now you will see that the difference between those 2 points is more than the falling distance, but I will cover that later, because I want to try something out. And if that doesn't work, we just lower this part, because when they come up here, they just pop down here, and this is the part where they're actually going to fall down. Again, we have this sign, will stop the water. They do not have enough, they cannot slow down, so they're going to push out of the water into this hole. It's never wise to dig straight down, so we're going to do it like this, all the way to Y31. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you with that, so see you then. So the drop is complete, as you can see, and it's really dark in here. And look what we are. You can see them spinning and flaming, so we're close enough for them to spawn, and close enough to keep an eye on. Oh no, this is going to bug me forever. Bummer. So I'm going to redo this entire shoot. Sure, why not? And yeah, well, one thing I will show you right away is I'm going to do some more work up there. So I'm going to place some water so that if I fall down this chute myself, I won't die. And I think that's beneficial. So I'll see you back in a bit. Alright, let me plug that for a while so I can quietly explain it to you. Alright, so we're here at Y57. They dropped to 31, so difference is 26, which is way too much. But what I have noticed in these constructions, I've made them many times, is when they come over here there's a bobbin, yes, let's be careful. They bob up and down, so when they go down here, they have, some of them have an upwards velocity before they go down. So some just drop to their death, some fall down have half a heart, and some fall down have a whole heart. So to stop that, I'm going to try and do this. Because if you fall through vines, just as if you would fall through ladders, look, they will slow your fall. So when you're out of the vines, then you start accelerating. That means that every zombie has the same velocity. Now I'm hoping this will work, but that's going to take some tinkering. And did I just destroy this water block entirely? Yes, I did. And in case you're wondering why the button's there, it's to prevent the vines from growing, because if I wasn't doing that, the vines would just grow to the bottom and we'd had zombies with full health. So let's go down. Up is way faster, but yeah, well. Here we go, take some water, and now we're going to make this thing operational. And that's a lot of torches. This is my surface entrance, in a way. But yeah, now we have these zombies and they're just walking around in the glass as soon as they spawn. Of course that's not what we want. We want them to go in there. So what we're going to do is place water. Like so. Like that. So now we have water going all the way from there to there. That means that no matter where in this 8x8 they spawn into flowing water. And that one's too high, like so. So if I were a zombie and I would spawn, well, let's say here, I would flow like this, and I would fall in here, and this needs one higher. Why? Because I just bumped my head. That will decrease the speed at which they will get in here, and that will make a coagulation of zombies. Right. Okay, here. upwards and onwards, because you can imitate a mob by keeping your spacebar pressed. So I'm still being a zombie. Brains. Brains. Like that. Now to move this and actually test the thing, and of course make way for them not to escape and eat my brains. And one more thing, of course. In case you haven't noticed, I really like hoppers. So put chest over here and a hopper over here, facing the chest, like such. I held shift while jumping, but you won't be able to see that. So they fall in here, and as soon as I kill them, the items will fall in here, and we can loot it. Hooray. And I need a way to prevent them from killing me, which is relatively easy. Yeah, this does not work. I just imagined how I wanted to place that thing and try to craft it that way, but it's not that forgiving. So if we place it like such, we can hit the zombies, but they can't hit us. And we can still open the chests. Also quite relevant. I will in time spruce this up to make it look a bit more nice. More nice. Make it look nicer. Alright, this has served its purpose. There we go. And the final step is removing the lights. Of course, if I had a lot of redstone lamps, or I could just make them, I could make a mechanism to turn this thing on and off, but I'm not really in this area ever unless I want to make them spawn. So let's do it like this so I can escape easily. There we go. And there we go. It might already start spawning actually. Stepping stones. Fail jumps. And more fail jumps. Like such. Alright, it won't take long for them to spawn now. That's what I said. And as you see, it's popping its way. Drop that cobble! Alright, that's one wasted torch, but I'll live with it. Let's get out of here as soon as possible. Block this off. And take a look from down below. As you can see, it's really dark in there, which is what we want. Let's see if we can actually see them over here. Will they still spawn if I'm standing over here? Hard to see, isn't it? Oh, yes, yes they will. I saw splashes there, so. And up they go. Yeah, up they go. Now let's check over here. Right. Okay, that one died. Oh, my cobble. That one died. That one died. Holding my torch. Oh, but that was kind of sweet of him, actually. So they're all dying. That's not good. Let me try something. Alright, several problems, actually. First off, they managed to get stuck on these right here. I never even imagined that would happen. Give me that. So that's not going to work. No wonder they kept clogging up over here. So putting this one there. putting this one lower. And I hope that helps. Oh dear. Well, this is going to be sub-ideal. Yeah, I'll hope this works. Let's try it out. So right now I'm standing on these, I believe. Well, I could just do this. Yep, I could. Much safer. Oh yeah. So okay, let's try it again. These vines, they are not going to work. Right. So we have to redo it again. That's not practical, is it? There we go. That should work. And I can drop safely now. Well, let's do some remodeling. So I just lowered it by 2. As you can see, it's now Y55. And let's have another go at it. Another redo. Well, I lowered another 2. So it's now at 53. Oh that wasn't what I had in mind. That would make me believe that they would survive the fall as well. Oh, forgot to turn off the lights again. I'll be right back. We're improving, but they now take 2 to 3 hits, which is too much. However, if I go to the top and lower it well, if I increase the height by 2 again, we'll just have the same problem. They'll all die. So I'm going to use a different approach. I'm going to lower this platform by 1, and that should fix it, I hope. So I tried lowering this platform 1 and making that fall 1 further, but suddenly they all died again, so... well, that was dumb. So this is the only option. I raised it up 1 again. And yeah, I'll just have to punch him a couple of times more. I'm not quite sure why they are doing this. Why that 1 block difference really is the difference between they live or die. But I do know it annoys me. Anyway, they dropped potatoes and chain helmet, which is actually really good. And an iron spade. And my torches. So now we have an experience farm. It's not optimal. Maybe I'll just put chests down with many stone swords so I can one-shot them with those. So yeah, that's the zombie farm. This looks kind of awesome though. Here we are, back in my storage with 30 levels of experience. And I'm going to repair this pickaxe. It's a good pick, so I want to repair it. There are 2 ways you can repair tools. You can use it with diamonds. Each diamond you add increases the cost, but also increases how much you repair it. It usually takes 4 diamonds to repair a tool from 0 to full. For quite a lot of levels. However, there's another way. That is repair it with the same tool, as you can see. It's 30. You end up with just the same. And a pickaxe costs 3 diamonds instead of 4. And if you turn these 2 around, it costs 23. You might wonder, why is that? Well, this pick is now being upgraded with that to become as such, whereas this pick is now being repaired with that. So if this one had a name, then doing this will lose the name. But right now I think I could even name it. Yeah, I actually could. Huh. Well, let's not get into that just yet. And we have a good pickaxe right now. Now you might think from, well, 4 diamonds, 3 diamonds, I don't really care that much, but it is significant when you want to repair a shovel. I mean, using 4 diamonds to repair a shovel is just madness. Whereas using another shovel to repair that shovel, well, it's just 1 diamond. So that's a lot more profitable. So this episode is nearing its end. We've done that as well. Still need to make it look a bit prettier, but it's functioning. It would be even better if I got splash potions of healing, because those damage undead and I would just throw a potion and kill a whole bunch at one time. However, I need melons for that and I haven't found any melons. That's really annoying. I found pumpkins, I believe, but not melons. To conclude the episode, a proof of theory. In other words, I'm going to show you that this chicken thing works. Also made it like this so I can feed them seeds so they will, well, they'll just increase. I'll show that as well. Why not? Let's go over here. Oh, that reminds me. I'll be right back. I got this really beat up fortune pick, and you may or may not know that fortune actually works on crops. I'll show it to you. This is the profit when you're not using fortune. 18 seeds, and when you are using fortune, you see 26 seeds. Now this for wheat, the fortune only affects the amount of seeds you produce. So if you want to increase your supply of seeds, that's a very good way of doing that. It does not increase the drop of wheat. It does, however, work this way with potatoes. As you can see here, look at the amount of potatoes I'm getting. We had 20 plants and I'm getting over a stack of potatoes. That's really nice. And they did change so that certain tools only work on certain materials. So this is an efficiency pick, but doesn't work on wood anymore. However, fortune does still work, and more importantly, it does not decrease the durability. So you can use a beat up fortune pick like this and just smash your crops with it. It will never break. I have tested that with a brand spanking new iron pickaxe, the Fortune 3. It had no damage and it also had no unbreaking. So that means after the first use you will see that it's damaged, but it never did get damaged. So that proves that you can use a fortune pick to smash up your crops, at least for now. I'm not sure if they'll nerf that, they probably will, because it's kind of cheaty. Alright, it also provides a nice way of killing them, actually. And you can get experience from over here, and as you can see here, lots of eggs. So this farm works. It's not what I had in mind. That was that really interesting device I made, but it will do. It will do, I suppose. So that's all for this episode. It's been quite a long episode, but neither the spawner nor the chicken, neither the experience farm nor the chicken farm really had it in them to make whole episodes. So I just pushed them into one episode. So I hope to see you again next time. Thank you for watching, and nice week.